Chat, here we go. We got Nupo versus Nass, and we continue the road to Nupo versus Mawkzy in Lyon in September. The World Championships will be battled between these two. We are going to have them play against the same 10 opponents. If this is your first time tuning in, we've had them play against, I believe, 4 opponents so far. This is the 5th opponent in Nass. You should go back and watch all of them. They've played against Raziers, Drally, Toxic, Batira, and now Nass. The player that has the better series record against the 10 opponents will walk away with $1,000. The challengers are playing for $100 per win. And I tell you what, it has not been that rare. You might think, oh, it's going to be, you know, rare here and there that these two drop games. That hasn't been true so far. But what has been true is lots of good practice, let's put it that way, for both Nupo and Mawkzy. And they seem to be locked in, ready to grind more and more as Nass, the current ranked 2 player in the world on the leaderboard, and somebody that a lot of people had as the favorite. I think most people had as the favorite going into the EU 1v1 RLCS. I think after it was all said and done, people would have had Mawkzy and Drally as the 2 players who were clearly, you know, at the peak, ready to represent EU and RLCS in that moment. But I think people correctly had Nass coming in as a favorite based on his salt mines and his show matches up until that point. And he's going to show he's still got 1v1 ability as he wins this kick off to the sidewall and launches it in for a second. Nass on an air dribble the length of the field. Nice flick. For a long time, it was Nass and Diaz who reigned supreme after the salt mine in 1v1. Nass showing he has a little bit of the South American top talent in him as well. Who's the next opponent? I've messaged a good amount of people, but I am not scheduling them far out ahead. I'm just kind of letting them happen. And I thought it was going to take a lot longer to let them happen, but I don't mind ending early. Just might end way before the World Championship. Still a lot of great practice for these guys. So I've reached out to people in preparation, like, hey, I might try and schedule a game with you here. Here's the format, etc. And so I have a decent idea of who might get to play, but you never know what's going to end up happening when it comes to scheduling. Nass to the ceiling. Worlds is September. Maybe the 2nd or 3rd week of September. Because there's going to be the 4 weekends of LCQ and then an Esports World Cup, which is going to cover most of the weeks. I thought we might get 1 or 2 games a week, and then it would take, you know, half that time. Turns out we might just get a ton of reps here really early. Nass, a really powerful ground pinch just got saved by Nupo, but the follow-up is in favor of Nass, and he'll make it 4-2. You're going to have time for another tourney? Yeah, I don't know what it's going to be. It'll have to be Nupo Mawkzy Road to Worlds version 2. 10 more games. This time, it's the same but different. Nass. Nice air dribble. Reset top shelf. Gonna make it 5-2. One thing that we can say for sure is that Nupo and Mawkzy have kept this challenge really contested. You know, there's a world in which, especially with how many, you know, faltering series we've seen, that one player could have maybe ran away with it and been a heavy favorite to take it all already. But I would say that has not been the case. They've been neck and neck each time we do a new series. It feels like it swaps back to who's in the lead. Nupo, nice speed, just a little bit too quick. And ends up putting it off the post instead of in. He's got half a game to make up this 4-goal deficit, so it's 6-2. But it all happened very quickly. So certainly not a game to give up on yet. Nupo, half flip set up on this dribble. Top shelf shot. Nass pre-jumped it, makes the save. And now he's headed back the other way to try and take advantage on a late recovering defender, and almost did. Reset is off the post. And now Nupo, air dribble bump, air dribble demo will get his third as he starts to inch it back. Nass wanted to watch that whole thing for some reason. I think he does a lot more watching in general. I feel like I've noticed that from Mr. Nass. He will watch through replays in lots of different games, lots of different situations, not just when he's trying to, like, well, I don't know if he's ever trying to be toxic, whether he scored or someone else scored. Maybe he likes to wipe his hands off or something, or get a drink of water, which I'm about to do right now. That's what he reminded me. Thought maybe Nass is getting water. Maybe I should get water. Nupo. Nice outplay here. Extended possession. Never went all in. Never overdid it. And right when he gets his boost stolen, it seems like maybe it's over. He does not give up. Chain some dashes. Get a goal. Bring it back within 2. Nass. Booming to the top shelf. Nupo actually able to pinch it far enough away that he should be able to pick up 100, but he's not going to. He's just going to rely on his dashes, and it worked for him before, and why not? What a save! My goodness. How is Nass prepared for that? Nupo went all in on 0 and actually thought it was going to work out as he chained all those dashes in. We didn't get to see from Nass POV, but Nass managed to make a save, and probably a game-securing save when you think about it, because he does counter it the other way. And is now up 7-4 with 54 seconds. Nass wanted 100, not gonna get it. Nwpo would have had a tough time creating something out of this, but Nass just left and allowed him to land. You know, watching from Nwpo POV, I mean, I guess Nass needs 100, but it feels like sticking around there, and instead of going for the 100, might make Nwpo's life really hard. But maybe Nass felt like, if I don't pick 100 up, sure, maybe I stop this for a second, but I won't stop the follow-up. And I need boost for that. Nupo catch, control, 17 seconds, delayed flick, it's in! And it's now time to start believing, if you're a Nupo fan. Great soft touch into catch. Nass watching it out. Maybe he's looking to see what he did wrong. Big kickoff moment here. Nass gonna fake it, and it's gonna work out about as well as you could ever hope for on a fake. The ball rolled back into his corner. Nupo challenge off the ceiling. Did he win this one? He's gonna put it towards the net. It's too high. Nass knows he doesn't have to jump, and I think that's a huge problem. If he got it anywhere in the net. Now, wait a second. Wait just a second. This ball is in the air. Nupo, he can't get back to it. Oh my goodness. Nupo, so close to scoring this at 0 seconds. Instead, it's a lightning quick GG from Nass, who was never worried for a moment as he takes game number 1. Nass on the board. It's always relevant to compare how Mawkzy played against Nass in terms of who's going to gain or lose ground. Now, at best, Nupo can just go neutral with this matchup. If he wins the next 3, then he will have matched Mawkzy's result against Nass. If he were to lose, he would find himself behind once again in these slew of 1v1s he's been playing. Nass, big kickoff win. Should be able to get a second off of it. Nupo had some kickoff struggles earlier, as he definitely was trying to force this one to the left. Nass just getting there on goal side and getting there early enough. Not playing into the kickoff games that Nupo wants to play. Nass Sending this one to the other side as Nupo picks up the corner. Oh my goodness, look at this movement from Nupo. It is so tricky and makes it seem like he's for sure going to pick up a reset. Next thing you know, he's not doing that. He's just rolling back towards the ball and tapping it over the top of Nass. It is such a big difference between getting a reset, going to the ground, and taking that late wave dash type shot, which is what he probably would have been going for if he had done that, versus just rolling through and all of a sudden surprising you and tapping it towards your net, which is what Nupo does. Flick high from Nass denied. Nupo maybe electing to try and reposition here. He had 40 boost with the ball. Ultimately decided that he'd rather flick it away, force a save, and go pick up 100. See what he can do from there. Can he get this double? It is a high double. Nass not going to allow it. But forcing Nass up high means he can go and steal his boost, as he will reset possession again. This time Nass with a lot less. Nupo ball carry, flick top right. Nass passes the test, makes the first save. Can he make another reverse challenging? That won't work. Nass gets red and Nupo equalizes. Nupo forcing this one over the top of the kickoff and then a slight fake. Making sure not to tap the ball towards the net the moment Nass is crossing the line of the shots. Instead, little ground touch in. Chat, everyone say hi to the robot. Nass. Double jump shots. Saved by Nupo. Nupo going to take it to the side wall. And a almost sneaky wall pinch from Nass in order to capitalize on a brief moment of an open net. Instead, it'll be an air dribble. I mean, kind of still did capitalize. He forced the ball into the blue half and then was able to keep it there. Great catch and dribble back into a 50. 3-3. Type 1 in chat if you're a bot viewer, just so we can get an idea of how many viewers here that are bots. It's good to know for the analytics. Nupo, big counter. Nass is going to pre-jump and double it off the back wall. And now look for a long shot. Nupo should be able to send this. Ooh, wanted the perfect sweet spot. Actually might have gotten the perfect sweet spot on the crossbar. In order to be able to counter it, Nass is a little bit tilted here, you could think. He's just sitting here frustrated that he wasn't able to get the read off of that bounce. Nupo definitely had to hit crossbar. That was the most important thing. Didn't want to send it too high. Backboard reads are simple, light work. Getting the perfect read off the crossbar is something that Nass is quite likely to mess up, and he does. And now look at this movements. Nupo single jumping, but rolling around and using that jump to push himself right back down, catch and flick over the top of Nass, which ends up getting the ball over the top of him earlier than you'd expect. Nass is a guy who's seen many dribbles and knows how long it takes after you've single jumped to, regain control of the ball, and has decided, I have space and time to challenge. And then Nupo takes that space and time right back away in order to gain an edge. Now Nass will use a flip. Not often you see an air dribble where someone's completely on the side of the ball work this well, but the ball is headed in if Nass doesn't flip. And if he does, he can put it all the way back on the other side. So it's a pretty tough decision to make from Nupo on whether or not he wants to get faked or he wants to stop, the flip shot. In this sense, he decided he did not want to be faked and started to jump as if Nass maybe wasn't going to touch the ball. Wave dash pop by Nupo as he wins a kickoff and is back to trying to force some offense. Nupo flick. First one. Oh my, wait, am I crazy or should he not have just flipped in that ball? Does he know something I don't know? Was there not a way to pre-flip and just Nass could not have possibly recovered? He tried to hit him with a fake, I think. and instead missed out on his opportunity to score. Nass, little pogo landing to make sure the ball pops a little bit and is a little bit tougher to read on a challenge from Nupo, who does back off. Now Nass to the skies, resets, nothing reasonable to be done with it, so he'll land on the ground and then instead get a follow-up to tie the game. Nass watching this one out. The previous ones that he watched were Nupo's goals. This one he's watching his own goal. I'm not sure. I guess if I had to guess, it probably has nothing to do with the goal at all. And more to do with whatever is going on in his world. Ooh, what a save. Nupo deciding not to use his quick recovery to chase the ball. Instead, he's going to shadow and he just gets stuck in a tough position. You could see him almost wanting to go back on his decision to shadow as he thinks about reverse challenging here. He says, no, I can't do that. Maybe I can. Maybe I can't. And then just ices himself out, driving forward and reverse over and over. I don't know why auto mod stopped this one. What it highlighted did not seem like it was any part of it that would be that bad. Nass. I was staring at this chat trying to understand why Automod didn't like it. Oh, Nupo mistake. Nass, good catch. Planned for that. Fake kickoff. Ooh, from Nass. Gonna pay off. Nupo tried to get a little pinch in order to capitalize on the read, but instead it's Nass who's doing like the opposite of tilting as he drops his controller and seems to feel like he has won this one. You must be dropping his controller and doing something, man. Not skipping the replay and his car just rolling up the sidewall. Could be a sweaty hand situation. Has he thought about the AJ... What was it? Not liposuction. That's the word. What's it called? What did AJ... Why can't I think of the word right now? For what AJ got in his hand. Botox. That's it. Yeah. (9-5). Nass ran away with this one here at the end. And officially, Mawkzy is gaining ground back on Nupo by Nass getting the second game win. If Nupo can get a reverse sweep, it won't be as bad. But if Nass can close this out, Nupo will be a series behind. Nass snagging the corner boost at the cost of a goal in his net as Nupo's going to open up the scoring here in Game 3. The Fun Buns, they've been 33 months Tier 1. Pros only get scored on in defense when they mess up mirroring. Nupo kind of sucks at it, which is why he's struggling. Just thought it was interesting. You were talking about the shadowing and the mirroring. We'll all watch closely as Nupo shadows. Mr. Nice Guy, thank you for the 4 months Prime. Also mentioning how much he loves to stream and how he thinks we do a great job with the show matches. Really fun tournament format. I've been having a great time watching it. Thanks for making the games happen. Heart, Mr. Nice Guy 420. Thank you, man. It's a good message. Nass, full field air dribble. Has a nice little reset wave dash to finish it. Nass gonna zap dash his way back into his own half. Didn't pick up the corner boost. Have to imagine he meant to. I didn't watch his POV the whole way, but I'm pretty sure he sent himself back that way. And yep, was definitely trying to clip that with the edge of his hitbox and didn't get it. Nass on an air dribble, reset 50. Nothing comes of it. Now the question is, can he at least stop the bleeding? And it seems like he has. He's forced a lot of boost out of Nupo as well, but it's going to be a Nupo possession here. Nass chasing him off the ball with a demo threat. And now sidewall dribble from Nass. So effective in these positions. Even against the likes of Nupo. Threatens everything all at once. And you cannot wait, or he will read you and destroy you. Nass. Catch, flick. As he tries to execute off kickoff. He's trying to get a sweep here against Mr. Nupo. And he is up 2. Lots of time left on the clock. Nupo needs to regain here. As he could find himself down in the series once again. Not to spoil all the previous matches, but it opened up with Mawkzy in the lead with a win over Raziers that Nupo was unable to match. Then Nupo brought it back with a sweep over Toxic that Mawkzy did the exact opposite of, got swept by. And then not only were we equal, but because of that heavy victory or heavy one-sided affair with the Toxic matchups, Nupo actually had the lead on game differential. Game differential and series differential, I imagine, will probably be hurting here if he doesn't start getting some games on the board. Nupo, air dribble bump. Doesn't get a bump, but doesn't need to. Nupo flick, top shelf. Denied. Not quite countered because this is off target. We'll put it to the side wall where he was hoping to be able to make a play off of it, but Nass being a pest. Slants it to the back wall. Nupo the other way. Reset. Wave dash. Easy to control for the Moroccan, and he's now back the other way. Ball cam on to watch Nupo. What a save. He was hiding behind the ball on Nass POV. Nass relentless though. Gonna make it 5-3. We are now halfway through the game. 2-goal lead for Nass. He has kept it going the way he had before. Nupo gonna have to turn it around. Oftentimes, the way the 1v1 world works, there's a lot of players will play most, of course, when they're winning. It's understandable. And you'll see those players who are winning, get into more and more matches to see just to what heights they can go to. And without an official circuit, I feel like oftentimes players would, if it's not going well for them, maybe take a big break, come back later. Nothing they have to play in. The difference here with Nupo and Mawkzy is they are slotted to play in the World Championship. They will be playing each other. There will be a 1v1 match. So even if 1v1 scrims or show matches aren't going well, you may just have to stick it out, and that's what these guys are doing right now. Nass baking the kickoff, getting possession, booming to the back wall. Now trying to control this one down to the ground. Nupo is being his pest self as he swings back and forth. Nass dodging demos. Now Nupo on the goal line. Oh, he does make the save, just barely. He gets both posts. Now headed back the other way. Could this be a turning point? Nupo losing the ball off the top of his car just a little bit. I think he would have preferred to flick, but didn't have that choice on the way it was set up. Instead, had to go for that kind of hook shot, single jump shot. A little bit less lethal, but he still has possession. Feels like a must-score situation here for Nupo, who sees the early challenge, flicks high. Can he use his boost to get back? He actually popped it up too much. So Nass's pre-jump is going to pay off a way that is slightly differently than normal. I think that's a GG's. Yeah, that's a GG's from Nupo. He needed a score there. Instead, he calls the GG's. So this was a sweep. A sweep for Nass, which actually means if Nupo did not pick up a game today, And this is the current standings. Now, Mawkzy up 3 games and up a series. But still, both of them with losing records. Kind of surprising.